What I want to share with you today is the key to success, and the thing that we kind of come out of that session was that successful people have great offers and unsuccessful people do not. It's as simple as that. And in fact, can everyone write this down? This is the key to your entire business. So successful people have great offers, unsuccessful people, and you can change that to successful companies have great offers. If you look at any company that is doing really well, you know, the big companies of today like Apple and companies like that have great offers. The people want to buy their product. People want what it is that they have to offer. As simple as that. BlackBerry, on the other hand, is a good example of what not to do. So trying to sell something that nobody wants, but coming up with creative ways to sell a thing that nobody wants. If you've seen the latest campaigns, they're trying to, you know, be all fancy and everything, but it's not the ad itself that's going to be successful. It's the offer, and that's really what I want to drive home. And my intention is for us to really, all of us here, to work in our office today and get something going really well. All wildly successful people in the Mastermind over the last 4 years, the common factor has been an irresistible offer and the willingness to give it all they've got. So everyone who has succeeded has had a great offer and the willingness to give it all they've got. I've seen people in the Mastermind who had great offers but didn't want to put the work in to get it out there. They had some success, you know, they made good money, 6 figures, but they could have gone a lot more. The ones who have made it are the ones that have the great offer and also put a hell of a lot of work in behind it. And that's really what we need to do. So this guy, Claude Hopkins, he's one of the fathers of advertising. So he wrote a book, and his book is so revolutionary that pretty much everything he's taught in this book from the early 1920s is stuff we're doing now. We do that stuff now. Marketing doesn't change. The technology to leverage marketing does, but the actual principles of marketing do not change and haven't changed. If you look at all the greats like Robert Collier and Claude Hopkins and Albert Lasker and John Kennedy, these guys, you know, over 120 years ago wrote all these books that are still applied today. But he said, make your offers so great that only a lunatic would refuse to buy. Who here has an offer that only a lunatic would refuse to buy? Anyone?
Yeah, ours is good, but yeah, we're not getting any lunatics through the door, so.
Do you have an offer that most sane people would take up in your marketplace? Right.
If they were searching for our product.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have a great offer. And what has been the result of having a great offer for you personally?
Game changing. Been massive. For all
Yeah. You've grown dramatically, right?
Yeah.
You hold the record for one of the largest martial arts classes ever.
Oh, we're one of the biggest in Australia.
Yeah. You've achieved big. Yeah. You've achieved massive results. I know Kim's got some great offers as well. In terms of, you know, what's happened for you having great offers, what's been the outcome?
Well, the biggest thing, it makes like business ridiculously simple because you don't have to look at a million things. We have one great offer per niche, but then as well, it dramatically changed our financial position because it's so easy to focus on that. And as you said, it's pretty much irresistible for everyone. It's like unless they really somehow sneak through and have absolutely $0, then they pretty much buy it.
Yeah, so if they've got the money in the pocket, they're going to buy it. One of the things that we discovered a long time ago when we were having a brainstorming session, and by the way, who has every week gets their people around it and throws ideas around it, has brainstorming sessions and things like that. Who's doing that on a regular basis? Okay, less than 20% of people here. I recommend that you do that. because you always get great ideas. I mean, I always spit out shitty ideas, but then everyone else is there to tell me how bad they are. No, I'm joking. Throwing ideas around is one of the best things you can do. And so we had this meeting, remember it very, very clearly a long time ago. It was me and James and a few other people. And we were talking about, building sales teams, marketing and everything else like that. And we were like, the better the offer you have, the less effort you need in terms of marketing and sales, the less you have to worry about trying to get clicks and trying to get leads, and the less you have to worry about getting the top salespeople. The better the offer, the shittier the salesperson you need to get it sold. So if you want to make it difficult for yourself, have an average offer and get the best salesperson. Otherwise, get the offer working. And the other parts of the business, you don't have to worry as much. You don't have to stress out so much about trying to get your marketing and your sales people right. You can get average people in to sell great offers. Does that make sense? Can you see how that might be a little bit less stressful? Yeah, cool. And once you get your offer right, everything else flows on very seamlessly. Don't worry about copy, content, blog posts. We're going to be covering social media later on today, but everything else just flows from that if you get the offer right. A great offer is one that creates enormous impact and demonstrable value in the lives of our clients, that is easy to understand and to articulate and resonates with their current context and desires. Is that confusing? Probably. I can break it down. So the first part of that is, a great offer is one that creates enormous and impactful demonstrable value in the lives of our clients. So in this case, what we want is an offer that provides enormous value, but also is obvious to the client that it has a lot of value as well. Because there's no point us knowing there's a lot of value, but the marketplace not knowing. Does that make sense? If we know so many things about our offer, and a few people here come to mind, there's a lot of things that we know about our product and service that we love it. We know how good this is. But if they don't know, it doesn't matter. And so we want to be making sure that we can demonstrate that value and impact on their lives. So impact in terms of making money, saving money, weight loss, saving their lives, better performance, whatever it is that they're chasing. And yesterday, Adam was covering, what are the things they actually want? What are they chasing? And the value is the thing that they want. Easy to articulate and understand, and resonates with their current context and desire. So, who knows what context is in relation to psychology or marketing? Anyone? Okay. So, in psychology and marketing, we have a thing called context. Context is essentially our worldview at the current time. So we're in a context right now, and that changes all the time. So the context is what we perceive the world to be, as well as what the world is actually is. I'll give you a really basic example. If I go out, if it's raining out there, the context that I'm in is that it's raining and I'm getting wet, so I need to get an umbrella. So my context is driving my behavior towards getting the umbrella. Very simple. If I break my arm, my context changes, then I have to go to the hospital. The behavior is me going to the hospital to get my arm fixed. Does that kind of make sense? So context is the thing that drives behavior. People used to believe that beliefs and values were the primary driver of behavior, but they realized that context was the primary driver of behavior. They did a test. They got a bunch of these religious scholars who were all learning to become priests, and they split the class up in half. And half of them, they said that you had to go and present a speech on the Good Samaritan over on the other side of the campus. And they did that. And the other side, the other half of the class, they did the same thing. But they said to one half that you are actually 30 minutes late, so you better run over there now and do this speech on the Good Samaritan. Then the the researchers, they put a what looked like a homeless man in agony right in the path. So everyone who had to go to the other side of the campus had to go past this dude who looked like he was in need. The half that weren't late, they all stopped and helped this man. The other half, who were all presumably 30 minutes late for this class, all jumped over the man and ran to the class and did their speech on the Good Samaritan. Now, who knows what the Good Samaritan thing is? The parable is the one where the guy stops and helps the dude. Like, ironic. But it illustrated that because their context was that they were late for this class, everything changed and they threw their beliefs out the window. Does that make sense? Yeah. So it's interesting that that's how the human mind works. And it's important because when we're creating our offer, we need to understand where they're at. And so have you noticed on the taking stock, we ask what is their current situation? Has anyone noticed that? Yes. That's what we're talking about. It's like when you go to the football and you spend $20 on a hot dog that you wouldn't normally do, right? Because the context is different.